Welcome to Cmctv Talent. My name is Daniela Pregoza.
And I am Bosco da Costa. Today's talent loves driving around Ontario and gets inspired by its people to write his songs. Stay tuned for more.
Welcome to Cmctv Talent. Today's singer comes all the way from Oshawa and loves writing about the province of Ontario and its people.
For sure, Daniela, his music pays tribute to all the brave and talented Canadians who came before him. Welcome to the stage, Brennen Sloan!
Crossing for 109 years now it did hide the lonely men and women in the night who in the winter snow would seek shelter from the cold. They've been around longer than me, and when I'm gone they still will be these lonely eyes you can't see. Grand River crossing, they seek to find a place where they can go, but there aren't too many places that they know. In a steel mill town, home river that drowns any false sense of being free. This place is not a home that's meant to keep these lonely eyes you can't see. Grand River crossing, by the count of the church bells they live. You can hear it chime 10 times from the bridge. There used to be a steel rail when these roads were horse trails. Might have been a better time to be. This old railway shelter will not ease these lonely hearts you can't see. Grand River crossing, and to this day you still can see it all, from the markets to the Bank of Montreal. Since 1885, the Ulster coffee shops and dives, and home to the poorer company, the wanderers and keepers of the streets, these lonely eyes you can't see. Grand River crossing, for 109 years now it did hide the lonely men and women in the night who in the winter snow would seek shelter from the cold. They've been around longer than me, and when I'm gone they still will be these lonely eyes you can't see.
What a beautiful song, Brennen. And
beautiful.
Would you like to talk more about it? How was the writing process?
Absolutely. So that song's actually about my hometown, Cambridge, Ontario. And I lived there for about 15 years. That's where I went to high school, elementary school. And that song was actually written when I went back at 22 years old and kind of took in the town in a different perspective. So you can imagine being away for quite a while and coming back, you see it with different eyes. And noticing its history the second time around is pretty cool. So
yeah, and it's a very beautiful song, very touching, very moving.
Thank you.
I would love to ask you, how was your first contact with the guitar?
Well, I got a guitar at 10 years old, and I learned all the rock music there was to learn. So, from Sabbath to Led Zeppelin, I was basically playing all the riffs, which led me into my first bands. But yeah, I took to it pretty immediately.
That's awesome. And were you the one having interest in starting into music, or did you had another influence like your parents or someone that you knew back in time?
Funny enough, it wasn't supposed to happen this way, but when your parents get you a guitar and they say, hey, maybe here's a hobby that'll get you beat up less in school, I decided that would be my life now. And I don't know whether they were happy or not about it, but
I think it was a good decision.
I think so, me too.
Right?
So, Brennen, you started on rock bands. What made you switch to folk music? Because, they're like completely different worlds, aren't they?
That's right.
They are, and thank God for that, because I couldn't keep doing 5-piece bands. It's hard to get gigs. It's hard to get that many people on stage. At some point in time, there are more people on stage than in the audience. So I figured, grab the acoustic guitar and just do the songwriting route. And it's been working out pretty well so far.
And what is the difference for you as a musician to play in a rock band and to play solo as a folk musician?
Well, with the folk, I can get my stories across much better. There's though the music is still elegant, there's less. There's less music to be distracted by, and so the stories come through nice and clear.
Sometimes less is more.
Absolutely.
100%. And you love to travel all over Ontario. Do you want to tell us what inspires you, perhaps?
Yeah, I've been doing that since I got my first car, and I was just kind of exploring from town to town, and I would notice plaques and statues and memorials. Any
recommendations of your favorite spots?
One of them actually is Uxbridge, Ontario, and I have a song about that on my second album. It's a long story, I won't go into it, but I would recommend checking out that place, if any.
And we can tell that you're deeply in love with Ontario and also Canada. Why do you think it's so important to write about the country and the people in it?
Well, I think there's been a lot of culture loss, and I grew up in school hearing that Canada really had no culture, and I didn't really understand what that meant or what that was, but as I got older and started to learn these stories about Canadians that came before me, I started to realize just how much of that contributed to the culture, and the suffering that they went through is culture, and that is what I want to carry through in the songs. That's what's important to being Canadian.
So some people have the opinion that Canada doesn't have its own culture when it comes to music. What's your opinion on that?
Well, yeah, as I said, I think a lot of it comes down to the people that were here before us and what they contributed to building this place. That is the culture, and without that, we wouldn't have the place that we do now. And
that's for sure.
And the people that came before us. So.
And we have lots, of course, as Canadians, we have lots of influence from the British, from the Americans. But what do you think makes Canadian music unique that you won't be able to find in the US, that you won't be able to find in Europe, in Latin America, in Asia? What's so unique about Canadian music?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's important not to get too Americanized, because we do have a lot of the same stuff that they do. But we don't live in the same country that they do. We actually have the second largest country on earth, and I think that's something to be proud of. There's a lot of beauty in the nature here. There's a lot of wildlife and
that's true.
and culture itself even that the Americans just don't have. And so I think there aren't enough people that are proud of it. So I feel like I have to have enough pride for the next guy too. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think if we can learn one thing from the Americans, it's being patriotic.
Are you?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And what's your ultimate goal as an artist here in Canada?
I want to make an impact on the culture. I want to leave something behind that says, we had our own things, and this is a testament to that.
Any specific thing that you're looking for into your career in specific? Next few years?
Well, yeah. I have a series of albums out right now, and I definitely want to do more. Just take the reins and go, right?
Keep evolving, keep creating music, keep making people happy.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's great.
When you're not playing music, someone told me that you love fighting karate. Is that true?
Well, I used to do karate, and actually this was in Cambridge. I did that when I was a kid all the way into my teen years, but I haven't done it in a very long time. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a martial artist, but you know, it was something that was
So-
part of my life for a little
Have you
while.
ever had to use your karate moves to get away from a fight, or someone who was, you know?
Or just to
Come
create
on.
peace. To create peace.
I don't know how
right?
much you can say on television,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah.
well. Go ahead and tell us if it's not.
Is there any other hobbies that you would like to share with people at home that you love to?
Well, yeah, I've been an artist all my life since I was a little guy. I remember in the first grade, actually, I had a classmate. I don't know how she knew this, but she told her other friend, she's like, if you need something drawn, ask Brennen. He
will do it. He'll do it.
She goes, he can make things look real. And I was like, okay, relax.
Don't go so far.
Yeah. But I don't know. So I've been doing that ever since. I have a series of paintings. I sketch. I do all my own, you know, artwork, graphic design. So yeah.
Music, painting, karate, anything else?
I don't know. That's quite the list.
Driving around Ontario and writing about its people. Maybe the fourth one.
Yes. Yeah, writing definitely.
So Brennen, please don't go anywhere, because right after the break, we have more music.
That's right. Stay tuned, guys. And welcome back to CMCTV Talent.
For sure. Now, Brennen Sloan is going to play another great song for us. Tobermory, Sunset.
In the night, upon the shore, there was a light to guide me home. The sky was red over the bruise in the wild Ontario, and I thought that I saw the ghost of my kin, and I said, sun went down over Tobermory. On the roads, upon the shore, lie the woods, dark as the sea, and few are they who settle there, people just as wild and free as the wind shore, there was a light to guide me home. And when I found my way to shore in the wild Ontario, I thought that I saw the eyes of my youth, and I said that I'd bring back with me a story as the sun went down over Tobermory. And the sun went down over Tobermory.
Wow, this was amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
And
you.
Brennan, I've been to Lake Huron before.
I've never.
And the sunsets are beautiful, beautiful.
I have to.
Yeah, I've been to Goderich twice. And yeah, honestly, the best sunset in Ontario for sure. But now,
My favorite segment.
yeah, we have something called
The Mystery Box!
So the concept is very simple, Brandon. So we have a few words inside the box. You're gonna
Pick one of them.
and define that word for us. What does it mean to you? Are you up for the challenge?
I think so.
Let's
All
go.
right, so let's do it. Close your eyes, don't look. All right, so the first one is.
Fame.
All right, so here it is. Fame. Fame. What does it mean to
fame
you?
mean to you?
Oh, goodness. Oh, I don't even know. You know what, honestly, I think it used to mean a lot of success and money and the whole bit, you know, worshiping rock stars as a kid, of course, right? It gives you that ideology. But I think as you get older, fame, it starts to look like impact that you can make in the world, right? Using the power or influence that you have to create change. So
That's
I think
beautiful.
it's starting to mean more like that.
Not necessarily becoming a rock star, a superstar, but
Or
small impacts.
Or large impacts.
Or large impacts.
Yeah. Impacts, whatever good they can do, you know?
What about one more?
let's pick another one.
Okay.
I
All
love
right.
that one. I saw it. I saw it.
All right.
good one.
All right. So the next one is
Family.
Family. What does it mean to you?
Family means to me that group of people that no matter what will have your back, and you should always have theirs. And you know, I think it's it's an interesting concept because that's where some of the biggest conflicts can happen within family. But
100%.
I think it also means that you need to try extra hard to make sure that those conflicts don't come between you and your family, because they are the most important.
That's exactly right, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I agree. A third one?
A third.
Okay,
Let's go.
here we go. All right.
Do you wanna
This one is
tell
good.
us? Voice.
Voice. Voice is the next word.
You gonna tell us what voice means to you exactly?
I think voice is hugely important, and in terms of people being able to project their voice, and when they can't, a lot of problems can start. Right? I think one of the most important things in the world is that no matter what someone's opinion is, how it differs from the majority or how unpopular it is, the ability to be able to speak what it is that you believe is so important. I think it's what gives us that. It's what gives us all different opinions. And I think too, without sugarcoating it, there's a lot of issue right now with being censored and people who, you know, they aren't able to use their voice. And I think freedom of speech is such an important thing. And it's also what makes our country what it is. And without it, you know, we crumble.
It's
and,
part of democracy.
Exactly.
100%.
And in order to live in a true democracy, everyone must have a voice.
Amazing. I love it.
Beautiful.
Last one?
Last one.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Want me to pick all of these?
I don't know.
Just one by one? Strength. That's a
All
good one.
right.
Strength.
Strength.
You know, tell us what does that mean to you? Strength.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think too, though. Yeah, strength. I think in this world, we don't have a choice. We must be strong. And there are a lot of ways to become strong, but just going through life is such a good way to do that. But there is no option but to be strong. It just depends on which way you get there. So strength is one of the most important things to have in life.
That's deep and
Yeah,
strong.
yeah, I love it.
I love that.
So Brennan, please don't go anywhere because right after the break, we have more music.
stay tuned. And welcome back to CMCTV Talent.
For sure. Today we have Brennen Sloan here with us, And Brennen, before you sing your last song, how do people find you? Do you have social media, like a website? How do people listen to your music?
This is the perfect place to share it right now.
Yeah, so you can find me, all my social medias are at @BrennenSloan_official. If you're looking on, I have my music on Spotify and all other platforms like that, but if you want to just check it out on my website, you can access all my music for free, brennensloan.ca.
Is there any platform in specific that you use the most in order to communicate with your fans?
I'm pretty active on Instagram, Facebook as well, a little less so, but yeah.
Awesome.
Brennen, thank you so much for coming. Your music is beautiful, it's uplifting, I love it.
We love it, and you're always more than welcome to come back.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And this is Billy by Brennen Sloan. See you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Billy was up before the dawn. He buttoned his jacket, his shiny boots on. Hear the biplane engine from the ground. 23 years old from Owen Sound. 23 years old from Owen Sound. Well, do what you're told and don't be late. And pay your mind to what your teachers say. He's a real good kid, but he doesn't do anything you tell him to. Anything you tell him to. The war broke out and he learned to fly. Though pilots then were born to die. On his first flight out he made a kill. And 71 would follow still. 71 would follow still. Surviving by the smallest chance. In dogfights over the plains of France. 30 rounds in an empty drum. His count was only beat by one. His count was only beat by one. Germany's known as the best. Put young Billy to the test. And when the boy returned alive, he was a legend in his time. He was a legend in his time. Billy died before the dawn. Though no one thought he'd live that long. He died an old man on the ground. He died a hero from Owen Sound. He died a hero from Owen Sound. Billy was up before the dawn. He buttoned his jacket, his shiny boots on. Hear the biplane engine from the ground. 23 years old from Owen Sound. 23 years old from Owen Sound.